There's this girl, and she is just stuck with some asshole back home, and she's just
wow. This is incredible. Like, it actually, I could relate to these things. That's Zach Bryan. That's mostly some Zach Bryan.
Could you imagine just being in a house, just sitting, just drink? Guys, it's a triumphant day at Records and Rants here. We are back. How about a round of applause for us? Round of applause for me, and a big round of applause for my main man, the co-host of the show, Dixon. How are you?
Awesome. Yes, we took our fall break a little bit early this year, so now we're back in action, doing our thing. And aren't you glad you tuned in? Because we sure have a lot to say about what we're going to talk about today, right? Wouldn't you say that's true?
I would say that is absolutely true, because you know what, Dixon, we all know the focus of this episode. It's going to be Zach Bryan, and I'll tell you what, I've never listened to this guy before. You introduced me to him like you do with so many others, and I got a lot to say about this guy. Little spoiler here, though. I was floored by this.
Wow, that's huge. Floored as in, this is so terrible, I'm done, or it was good.
I had to rip my headphones out. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think, I'll say this, I don't think I have listened to a new artist that has made me focus on the lyrics as much as Zach Bryan has.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely understand where you're coming from with that. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, Zach Bryan is an absolute... I mean, I was thinking about this when I was listening to this stuff. I'm like, this guy is an artist, like, in the truest sense of the form. He has something to say.
Right.
And that really shows in the selection of songs that you gave me. No,
I think you're absolutely right. We had touched on Zach Bryan, on his... with some of his legal troubles on one of our last episodes.
Wait. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. What happened with his legal troubles? I think I'm...
Well, remember he got pulled over, and the father was going to call the governor on him. He didn't want to give his address because he's a famous singer. I think we talked about that. Did we touch on that for a minute? Don't
tell me this. Oh no, they just ruined everything for me. Really soiled me on this guy.
Not a big deal. It's fine. He's like,
I know.
It was kind of a dick move, because he's a guy, he's a veteran, and the guy pulled him over. He's like, I don't want to give my address because I'm a very famous musician. I'm a very famous. And then there was that great moment the father was going to call the governor and petition the governor to have it expunged or something. Yeah. Who the hell knows?
Ridiculous. But hey, we'll separate that for today's discussion.
For sure. Separate the art from the artist, all that kind of stuff. But Zach Bryan, alternative country, Americana, country artist, that kind of thing, was in the Navy when he kind of got famous, and he was honorably discharged. He started uploading things to YouTube, and he talks a lot about poems and poetry in his work. And I feel like Zach Bryan is a writer first and a musician second. And you touched on that, maybe with him being the idea of an artist in reality.
Yeah, I 1,000,000% got that vibe. These are poems being transitioned into music. And I mean, I think a lot of people do that, but like, you really feel it. I don't even know how to describe it. You could probably describe it better, but there's something in the way that he writes the lyrics. It's all very, very powerful. The lines that he uses. Yeah, it kind of left me at a loss for words at some points. A lot of these things had some pretty hard hitting themes.
Right. No, for sure. And, I listened to his new album that just came out. It's self-titled. It's, Zach Bryan. And I couldn't relate to a lot of the stuff he was talking about. But like on the song, it was, oh shoot, I forget the name. I forget which one it is, but I'm listening to the album throughout its entirety. There wasn't a lot of things I could relate to as far as the lyrics go, but I found myself like thinking it was incredible. Like, I could relate to these things that he was talking about and describing. And I think that's the songwriter's gift, or what you were trying to do through your song, was let some people feel some sort of emotion, and some sort of connection with your music, even though it might not be 100% spot on to something they're dealing with or whatever it might be. And I kind of felt that, especially in his last album that just came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, like, and we've talked about this a lot before. If you have an artist that could make you feel feelings for something that you've never even gone through, if they're
Right.
telling a story, something that happened in their life, or just some kind of general thing that they've gone through that you just aren't familiar with. But if you could listen to the song and feel something for it, I mean that's powerful. I
Yeah.
think that takes a lot of talent, and I think people just have that gift, and then some don't. And I think what I liked most about this collection of songs you gave me is that they didn't seem commercialized. I guess
Right.
in a way, it wasn't modern
Right.
country
No, for sure.
at
No,
all.
absolutely. You're absolutely right. And it's so interesting that you say that because he's playing his tour now, and I guess I think it's all the dates are sold out. And he's one of these guys. I don't know if
Wow.
it's if it's the company or whatever it is. He plays like on a random Tuesday night, and I remember we would go to a concert, and be like, oh, it's a Tuesday.
Ugh.
It's like I hate when they do that, but I get they're all sold out anyway. But he's playing these pretty sizable arenas, like these mid-size arenas, indoor venues. Which to me, it's like, okay, well, how does this stuff translate? But you could see how he has blips in some of the songs we listen to him. How it could be like a really um, powerful sort of rock edge to what he's trying to do with the lyrics. And I just thought, oh, it'd be so interesting to see how it translates, And I think that's definitely a
Yeah.
different gift too, to kind of make all these sort of sad songs really accessible and making you want to like stand up and sing along, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like could you picture I don't know, like Tourniquet being
Yes.
played in a grand stadium? It just doesn't, it's not like it's not, these aren't bops, as the kids would say. You're not standing up and cheering and fist pumping and like getting wild and slamming down beers. These are sad
Yeah,
songs.
no, yeah, absolutely, for sure. And so with that being said, those are some of the songs we listened to, and they were kind of a sampling. I think his albums are very packed. Like they have a ton of tracks on them. Something in the Orange from
Mhm.
2022's American Heartbreak, Oklahoma Smokeshow from the Summertime Blues EP in 2022. I Remember Everything featuring Casey Musgraves. That's just off of his new album. Tourniquet off of the new album as well, Zach Bryan, and then Burn, 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 which I believe was also on Summertime Blues. And sort of, like I said, sort of a sampling. I know songs that I really enjoyed. And, I'm a CD guy. I recently
Oh
got
yeah.
this a new compact disc player. So
Hmm.
Zach Bryan, the new album is coming out on CD shortly in the beginning of October, and I just picked up American Heartbreak on CD. It's like 36 songs, and
Holy
yeah,
crap.
it's packed. And so was the the first two albums he had previous to that. So he has content. He's got material. He's cranking them out. And the way I described him to my cousin, who is a big Bruce Springsteen fan, I said, "Do you ever listen to
Mhm.
Zach Bryan?" He's like, "No." I goes, "I always thought he was kind of like a country thing." I said, "Well, there is that. Yeah, sure, there is that country element." But the way I described him is Zach Bryan sounds like Bruce Springsteen if Bruce Springsteen were like good, were really a good artist. and,
That's
and,
good. That's good.
and I think that song Oklahoma Smoke Show is something you could hear Bruce Springsteen singing. He's sort of that bad boy edge sort of thing that he kind of um, makes it apparent. It's kind of this
Oh yeah.
unrequited love kind of thing. And I love the line.
Mhm.
She's an Oklahoma Smoke Show. He's an asshole from back home. And it's like, how many times have you thought that about somebody? Like, oh, she's with this douchebag. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
that's just so true. And it's such a true sentiment. Yeah,
Yes. Dixon, 1,000,000%. I
yeah,
mean, I'm sure if me and you went back, we know
yeah.
people that have been like this. And like my favorite part about this song was just was that it's like this, just stuck with some asshole back home, and she just stuck in the small town, going out to bars and stuff. Like she just stuck there with this asshole. And I thought that was really funny, because it's it's like, yeah, well, that shit happens all the time.
No, yeah, it's the truth.
Hmm.
It's really the truth, and it's just like you said. It's the one lyric he has, that small town bar scene where small vices kill your big dreams. He'd take you home, but he's too drunk to drive. That
Yeah.
we have seen that
Yeah.
over and over again. I think we've been guilty of
Yeah.
this.
We literally lived this song.
This is one of the songs that we can actually relate to at a personal level. It's just so great. That's such a
Yeah.
good one.
I think honestly, I think that might be one of my favorites. I was literally picturing the bar that we go to
Yeah,
and
for sure.
other surrounding bars, like listening to this song. It was
Yes,
fantastic.
absolutely. No, 100%. Like I said, we've seen that. Now, I something in the orange, the song, and just to dive into what we're doing.
Hmm.
Something in the orange, I think, is such a depressing with such a hopeful chorus. It at least sounds hopeful in terms of the difference in tone, but it's so we all have that moment where it's like, when I say I miss you, I know that you won't. You're thinking like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this, I'll never have this chick that I want.
Yep.
And you look for those signals, like, oh, okay, there's something in the orange. There's something out there. Maybe there's a message. Maybe it's going to work out. Maybe it's not. But you're hopeful for the guy. You're hopeful that it's going to work out. There's something in the orange, and hopefully it does work out because um, taking place in that nature, making a parallel between nature and your life, I think is kind of profound.
Yeah, this was a really good song too, and I really liked the line, and this just kind of shows how like kind of hopeless this was. Like you'll never have the girl because like this person just doesn't care about you. But
Right.
the line to you, I'm just a man. To me, you're all that I am.
Wow.
I thought that was fantastic. It's like this guy is all about her, but she just
Hmm.
does not care.
Yep. That's another. I think he's so hometown and small town that all these things happen around you and think, oh, it's the same day over and over again. But these things happen like this in these microcosms in these small towns, like you and I grew up in,
Hmm.
and you see it all around you, and you don't really think about it. And but these things are happening, and it's so different from a big city vibe. It's so different from anywhere else you could possibly live. Just because you're guaranteed to run into them again.
Oh yeah.
It's never gonna. Yeah, they're hanging around. You're gonna see them. You can't just move on. I think
No.
that kind of sums that up too.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. It's like, yeah, if you're in a city, you can't relate to this because you have a million places to go within a few square miles. Here or in a small town, you go to
Yeah,
one single place and you're going to see them again.
it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
And with that whole thing being said, that carries over into I remember everything with Casey Musgraves. And let
Mm,
me just tell you something about Casey Musgraves. I've recently, well, several years now, I relocated, moved, and when I knew I was moving, Casey Musgraves' album Golden Hour was out for a few years at the time. And Golden Hour is such a good album. It is such a good sad girl album, and I love it. And every time I'm in my feels, I put that album on, I listen to it. But I must have listened to Golden Hour 16 times right before I moved. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these things are just
oh
hitting.
man.
And so I've always been a Casey Musgraves fan. And I think Casey Musgraves and Zach Bryan together. I think Casey Musgraves is sort of the Zach Bryan, the female version of Zach Bryan. Um, she was doing this before Zach Bryan. And I think the two of them together with sort of that edge in their voice, kind of even though she's so feminine and has such a beautiful cadence,
Hmm.
she still has that kind of edge in her voice. And I think that translates so well to the lyrics, the back and forth that's happening on this song. I remember everything.
Yeah, I thought that both of them together, it really did. She complimented his just everything, like you said, the cadence, the tone of their voice. Now, I'm not
Right.
really familiar with Casey Musgraves, but she does songs like this.
Yes, yes. So she does. This will be another good one. We have quite a list we have to get to
Oh
of
yeah,
albums, but
we gotta catch up.
um, yeah, no, for sure. Um, Casey Musgraves works in that same sort of genre as Zach Bryan, and that alternative country, um, Americana, but you really write. It's like if Lana Del Rey is sort of a love letter to America and what's wrong about America in the open West, you might have hope after you listen to Casey Musgraves because she
Okay.
has that such a sad girl, sad boy thing going on. But it's like it's just part of the experience. It's just part of life. And she has a song on Golden Hour. Oh, what a world! I don't want to leave. All kinds of magic all around us. It's hard to believe. Love song, but thinking about your experience as a person and in this moment and how we take things for granted, I think, and how you take love for granted. And then you fast forward to I remember everything. And you have to think back. I think it's like it's I remember everything. If you're making a connection between these two, oh what a world, the Casey Musgrave song is where you started. And everything is wonderful and everything's great. And these moments that we collect are fantastic. And then you get several years down the road, I remember everything. And maybe things aren't working out.
Yeah.
You're drinking everything to ease your mind. When the hell are you going to ease mine?
I
Maybe you have that kind of crossroads moment.
Yeah, and I thought that this was a more kind of like a dire song. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there was a lot about that rock gut whiskey easing your mind, and then
Yes.
the line it says you only smile when you're drinking. I
Yes.
wish I didn't, but I do. I mean that's like really, if you really think about it, it's like a painful thing to say. And then
Oh, for sure.
this line as well. Strange words come on out of a grown man's mouth when his mind's broke.
Oh yeah, you read my mind when I was thinking about that lyric. It's so
Yep.
good. It's so loaded.
It is. Yeah, all these lines are like they like everything is heavy. There's no filler. Everything is like
Yeah,
it
right.
punches you.
Yeah, for sure. And this is I'm a big Seinfeld fan. The Seinfeld plots are good, but it's the lines that are hilarious. And this is the exact same thing.
Yes.
There's these little snippets that are probably just okay. They're not filler, but they're part of the thing,
Mhm.
and they just slam you for a second. It's like, oh
Yeah.
man, like if this was in my sad boy era, I think this is my matured version of my sad boy era is listening to Zach Bryan, like listen to the Shins and Death Cab for Cutie. And this is like, all right,
It's
hitting my stride as a young adult.
this is like grown up like sad boy era kind of
Yeah, no, for sure.
sad
It is.
man
It is.
era now.
Yes, yes, sad man era. We can all go to the bars now.
Yeah.
It's a whole different story.
Yeah, just another layer of depression. You're at the bar now.
Yes, yes, yeah. Seeing all the small town stuff that's happening around you, and of course
Yes.
you remember everything, and that's it.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, we had what else did we listen? Oh, we listened to Tourniquet and Burn, Burn, Burn.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Tourniquet is an interesting song too. It sounds hopeful.
It
I
yeah.
think it is hopeful, right?
Yeah, I think it is, and so I listened to this right after Oklahoma Smoke Show, and I found it kind of interesting
Right.
because in that one he's talking about a girl who, she had dreams, but she's with this asshole and blah blah blah, all this stuff. But then it seems like in Tourniquet he's taking someone and kind of like trying to heal her from her past. At
Right.
least that's what I got to it.
Right. At least trying to. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're right.
Trying
Yeah.
to, yeah.
Yeah. I think there's that hopeful edge, maybe.
Hmm.
I think that's an interesting concept to deal with. That maybe there's a glimmer of hope. Maybe be with your friends, your family, whatever it might be,
Hmm.
and you're trying to do your best. Maybe you're not 100% either.
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Exactly. And there was just that little glimmer of hope. That was like the one piece of hope that was throughout all of these songs, pretty much, at least to me.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, no, that was, I enjoyed this song, probably just not as much as I enjoyed we kind of already went through my favorite songs. Like I said, I think I liked Oklahoma Smoke Show the best. Tourniquet and Burn, Burn, Burn. They were good. It just didn't capture me as much as the other ones.
Yeah. And actually so this is Zach Bryan. He was in the Billboard. This album, Zach Bryan was in the Billboard top charts, and then I remember everything went to number 1 on that same chart. So definitely lyrically wise, I think I agree with you that Oklahoma Smoke Show and I remember everything are just really really spot on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Burn 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 is just like kind of like like a love letter to everything he is, that you are, whatever you should be, and you want to do your own thing, and your experiences led you here.
Yeah.
And this is what it's all about, and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you don't really care what everybody else thinks, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Actually, Burn, Burn, Burn was probably one of my more favorite ones too. I think Tourniquet was just kind of down there. But yeah, Burn, Burn, Burn just seems like, it just kind of seemed like a song about like everything that you are and just kind of going through life, and you're just gonna take it head on, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I got that too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, so you were never familiar with Zach Bryan before this. So your fiance, who's a big like Morgan Wallen kind of thing, she's not into Zach Bryan?
I could ask her. She is not here right now, but I would.
well, it's all right. It doesn't have to be a live response.
Well, we don't have to do a live interview, but no, it wouldn't surprise me if she liked this stuff. But you know what? I would bet she would say this is a little too slow, maybe a little too down. Not enough love song stuff in there.
Yeah, I got you.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I guarantee that she probably likes some of these songs.
It's yeah, well, I hope she does. And
I
if
hope
not,
so.
maybe you could share with her. But this reminded me of when, like in the mid 2000s, like Drake used to drop an album at midnight.
Yeah,
and the same thing happened with Zach Bryan album. He like posted it at midnight, whatever day it came out. But I remember when Vine was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I remember when Drake's album, Nothing Was the Same, dropped. It was like everybody had all these reaction videos, like everybody's crying and all this kind of stuff. And I remember, to me, there's a definite parallel between like that era of Drake, with the exception of some of the tracks on there, to this. I think they're still they're both worked in the same plane, different genres, but sort of a summary of where we've been, where you're going, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And just the idea of like, oh man, Zach Bryan's dropping an album at midnight. Like I remember that was the big thing. Oh, Drake's dropping something new at midnight. And that kind of gave me like a little bit of throwback vibe there for a second.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I could see the similarities there.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
That's neat.
So what was your favorite track?
Okay, so my favorite track, it has to be Oklahoma Smokeshow. If I had to give a runner up, it'd be I Remember Everything.
Yeah, Oklahoma Smokeshow, such a good song. I think it's so accessible. And I think, like I said, I think it's that Americana, American roots, what you might have heard from Springsteen in the '80s. I think that's the same kind of deal that he's doing there, and I really like that song too. And he's so prolific. Like this didn't come off an album; it came off of an EP. Just like a surprise kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah. That. Now, let me ask you this: does he write all of his own songs, or at least most of them? Because it seems like he does.
From what I can tell, yes, for sure. And he just released something like maybe like a week or two ago. Like he's like, I locked myself in a room and I wrote myself through a notebook. And he smokes, he drinks Budweiser. Like he's a regular dude. But he's dating a girl from one of the Barstool podcasts.
What?
Yeah. Let me look this up real quick.
Now that's interesting. Yeah, here she is, Brianna Chicken Fry.
Do you know who that is?
I've heard of her.
Really, I don't. Is she on one of those things? Call her daddy or something?
Yes.
And one of those disgusting things.
Yeah, just totally abhorrent against all morality. Yeah, I think that's her. Call her daddy.
That's so surprising. Isn't that surprising to you?
It doesn't seem like it matches up, because when I mean, yeah. Gonna get mean here. Here comes Ice. Right. Here comes Ice getting mean and generalizing. But it just seems like this girl, when someone's all done up and everything, and you have that kind of vanity, it just doesn't seem like someone who's soulful like this would go for someone like this. That's just me.
With that being said, maybe the lesson, don't judge a book by its cover. Maybe she is more soulful. You just don't know it based on the filth they spew on that Barstool network.
Yeah, honestly, you're probably right. She's paid to spew that filth, so she probably does it, and she's getting her bag. That's totally fine. I agree with that.
Getting her back. That is so funny.
uh,
You have to wonder, like you just said, like how did it even start? Like, was there an attraction there? Was there a bump in? Like, you wouldn't think they'd be initially attracted to each other, or maybe her with him. I don't know. It just seemed like it'd be like a little bit of an odd meeting.
it does now. Here it is. It says they first met briefly in May. They didn't start dating until now listen to this. This is breaking news, everyone. Bryan slid into her DMs, and they've since enjoyed an 18-hour road trip together. And
wow, that's pretty heavy to start out with.
Yeah, that's really hey, for a first date, you want to drive with me for almost a day?
You can just get all the questions, get all the maybe the ick out of the way initially.
Yeah,
done.
Yeah, the ick, as they say. So she goes on to say, he's like the nicest, most genuine person I've ever met. He's so normal.
Wow.
We did an effing 18-hour car ride together and didn't turn the music on once. We talked the whole time. That's when I knew, like, oh, this guy's actually awesome. We got to know each other. How about that?
Wow, that's cool. Well, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's nice. Very, very good. Nice, romance in paradise. I'm very happy for them. I hope it works out.
Me too. It sounds like Zach Bryan's been through some terrible things based on the songs he's written. So
seriously,
maybe she could be the one that really kind of eases his mind, as they say.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. We'll be watching.
Yeah.
We'll be watching.
Oh yeah, we'll be watching. Zach, friend of the show, feel free to come on anytime you want to discuss your relationship.
We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear from Miss Chicken Fry as well. Just
yes, for sure.
Yeah, let us know. We're open. We'll book you.
For sure. So with all that being said,
yeah,
it's kind of been a minute since we've been on the air. How are things going?
Yeah, it has been. It's been going well. I feel like you get busy. These things happen. I'm very bad at managing my time. I'll admit that. But I'm happy we're back, and I did miss the show. How about you? How have you been doing? There's really nothing new from my side, honestly.
Yeah, no, there's not a whole lot new either, and I missed the show as well. Things happen, things get in the way, life happens. You're a very, very busy man. You got a little bachelor party coming up soon, huh?
Yeah, I do. This is first time everyone's here, and I know we had the bombshell when I asked Dixon to be a groomsman. That was a huge bombshell on the show. And since then we've been scheduling the bachelor party. Now there's already been some drama with that, hasn't there, Dixon?
There's been a little bit of a tension in the group chat.
So
said or unsaid, it's hard to say, but
allegedly my dear brother who's trying to organize this whole thing texted and said, hey, we're doing a bachelor party for ICE. No one responded. That's pretty much what happened.
Well, I feel I've I know he texted this past weekend, I think. And I didn't respond because I had responded previously. Mm-hmm. And I said looking forward to it as my general response, which is true because I am looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely hard to wrangle certain members of this group chat. So I think that's probably where your bro is having a moment of frustration.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm actually gonna talk to him after the show and figure out what's been going on. But hopefully everything will work out. Hey, if not, it'll be me and you and my brother. So
the three of us.
Yeah.
Listen to Zach Bryan. You guys listen to some Zach Bryan.
Could you imagine just being in a house, just sitting, just drinking whiskey, listening to Zach Bryan?
All of us in relationships would come out single the next morning.
Yeah, be like, I don't know about this, man. I don't know if I can do this.
I don't know if I can do this anymore.
It's get really depressed.
That's pretty good. So that's kind of the biggest life update. You and I were able to connect IRL for a minute.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing to do that, and we're well on the way to the road to 200. We're at 192 subscribers right now, which has really blossomed overnight.
I know. I think during our break, I think we gained probably like 50 subs just having our videos marinating, and that's the joy of YouTube. It's always on there. People could find us, and I really like that. We had Oliver Anthony really helped bump us up a little
Oh
bit.
my
So.
goodness, that whole debacle! If you haven't listened to it already, if you're a Zach Bryan fan and you're discovering this, and this will be interesting. The comments will be interesting below because Zach Bryan, much like Oliver Anthony, has this legion of dedicated fans. So I'm sure we've gotten a date or something wrong that they're going to point out.
Oh yeah.
But if you haven't listened to our Oliver Anthony special about 2 episodes ago, check it out. Listen to that first, and then listen to the follow-up to the Oliver Anthony special that we had. That was our last 2 videos. Basically because people just kind of missed the mark of what we were trying to say and what we were saying. So it was good to clear the air, kind of get a fresh start, and it seemed like people who sought out that second part kind of got where we were coming from.
Yeah, it was a really interesting, because if you followed it, and we got thousands of views on those 2 videos, and a lot. It was pretty interesting because our first video had like a 10% like ratio, and then you go to the next one,
right,
and it's one of the highest that we've ever had. So I think we did a really good job, a really good PR job of clearing our name there. I think we did.
Yeah,
we did
for
great.
sure.
Yeah, but
we did for sure. And one of our other more popular videos was the our listening to Tool for the first time ever.
Oh yeah, that's been doing good.
Yeah, it's been doing well. And I actually, that was actually something new. I actually had the chance to see a Tool cover band over the fall break. And
really?
Yeah, and they were excellent. And what I thought was, these guys are so good. I don't know how they could. Maybe they don't, but what I could tell, they pigeonhole themselves with Tool's music. And the guy who does Maynard, Maynard does like different costumes and dress and all these kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy on the night that we saw the Tool cover band was dressed as a businessman / preacher with this like blonde wig on.
That's interesting.
And he had like a little setup like towards the drum kit where he had he was controlling the lights and doing things. It turns out that Maynard, when Tool plays live, he has the same little setup, like a little table or like a little bit of like a mixer kind of thing.
Really?
Yes, and then you have, is it Adam Jones. So the guy who portrayed Adam Jones has like that long black hair but like gray streaks. So the guitar player was at the front with like a wig on like that, but didn't have any movement at all, was just playing. So I looked up the video about Adam Jones. That's exactly how Adam Jones plays. He doesn't react to anything at all movement wise. He is just focused on the notes and what he's playing.
Really?
Which was impressive to me more about an Adam Jones perspective, you know?
That is.
Literally just stands there and plays the guitar. And maybe he picks up his head, maybe he doesn't. But it's not like he's like into it or anything. He's just playing the notes, which is just incredible to me.
That's amazing.
Is that amazing? Is that so weird?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Because you have all this shit going on around you, like there's like the drums and Maynard's jumping around, and there's people smoking weed and singing, and there's these visual things and lights, and he's just there standing playing the guitar, which I think is such a testament to Tool as a band. It's insane. And I was so amazed. I was looking more into Adam Jones. He was accepted into like a creative, like an arts studio. And he had done special effects. He was in like a special effects company and did special effects claymation makeup for different movies and TV shows and that kind of thing. And he primarily does the animation and the videos for Tools, like the video for Sober with the clay guys. He did that video.
Wow!
Like what a talented creative guy. You wish it could be somebody like that.
That is really impressive. See, like there's another true artist right there. And yeah, like we were saying, how the hell do you just stand? Like all this stuff is going. You're getting sensory overload. It probably takes an iron will to just stand there.
It's amazing. Like I said, and we mentioned this before about Tool, how there's not really a carryover between the Dream Theater crowd, because the Dream Theater crowd is all about like how technically proficient they are, and we've heard that firsthand, right?
Oh, we've heard it many times.
There has to be some sort of carryover between them and Tool, because Tool to me just has so much stuff going on, and they do it so well. I didn't know how anybody, no matter what you listen to, could not appreciate their music and what they're doing. It's insane. It really is. And just seeing these guys reenact this, I just thought, oh my gosh, I got to get back into Tool and what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe we should do a revisit one of these days. But yeah, Tool really, I got to go back and listen to that episode. But I think Tool really blew my mind. It really opened up a lot of doors for me because like I didn't think that I was going to like it at all. But I mean,
right.
But like you were saying, to be able to recreate that is kind of wild that you could do something like that because it's such an odd genre. It is out there. And another thing, like you were saying, it's like, okay, you're a cover band and you do Tool. It's like you are that. You're not breaking out of that genre.
Right. That's what's insane. Like, it's like these guys could probably play anything they wanted to based on their performance. Mm-hmm. And I was just like amazed. But to be able to recreate that music, like you said, I think is huge. And to be able to create that music is just even beyond that. Like, I can't even imagine that. So it's really something. I really took a moment to appreciate Tool's music after seeing that. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's about the only thing that's going on. So.
Oh, well, that's good. Maybe we'll during my bachelor party there'll be a Tool cover band that we could go see in there.
Oh my god, that'd be fantastic. That'd be another one. That'd be another depressing one. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm feeling weird about this.
Is this what we're made for? Yeah. Just monogamous relationships? Are we sure we want to do this? Like, great.
Oh man.
Oh well.
Good stuff.
Very good.
Yeah. Hey, well, this was great. I'm really glad that we got a chance to get back into the show.
Absolutely. It's long overdue. And hey, do us all a favor. Smash that like button. Smash that sub button. We're back. We're better than ever. We're making the stuff you want to hear. Comment your favorite songs. Comment your favorite Zach Bryan song. Comment your favorite Tool album, whatever it might be. You want to hear us cover something? Do it. We talk about it. A lot of times this is the first time Ice is hearing it. So we're more than happy to reach out to all those listeners out there.
That's right. Dixon, I couldn't have said it any better. So I will just say, we will see you guys next week. And thanks for watching.
Peace.